everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Saturday, January the 20th. Race number 8 at Santa Anita. Older fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th in the grade 3 La Cañada. Let's take a look at this field. 6 in here, Mike, but from a Beyer speed figure standpoint, at least, it's fairly evenly matched. It's the rematch between Midnight Memories and Desert Dawn. Midnight Memories ran Desert Dawn last time out at Los Alamitos.
Yeah, it feels like that's probably the main storyline here, Dan. They're both, horses with plenty of, back races in the graded stakes ranks that, to sort of stand out in this field. You do have the two horses drawn to the inside two posts. They have upside. They're looking to take a step forward here as they move up in class.
In this short field, there doesn't appear to be a ton of early speed, as we see from our Timeform US pace projector. You'll note the blue bar, which indicates that this race could favor front runners, and Musical Mischief is very tactical, breaking from the inside. I would think she's going to be there, and I also think Midnight Memories is going to be very close for Bob Baffert.
I won't argue with that, Dan. Musical Mischief's very tactical horse. She could easily make the lead here from the rail, and we'll see if that's where her connections want her. But Midnight Memories probably goes favored here. She's not going to be compromised by pace.
Musical Mischief really improved when stretched out around 2 turns, winning 2 races in a row, including a first-level allowance, although an off-the-turf race with a 90 Beyer speed figure. She certainly held her own in Grade 1 competition on turf last time out in the American Oak, so she looks like a versatile horse that's just coming into her own, and she could get a good trip from the rail.
I agree with all that stuff. And she did that race two back came back pretty fast for an allowance when Dennis. She did blow that field out off of a perfect trip. And it didn't necessarily feel like a super strong field, but she looked good winning. I'm wondering what the idea was with pointing her to turf, because that race two back was supposed to be on turf. It was off, then they ran her on turf. She doesn't have a turf pedigree. So I'm wondering why they did that. Maybe it was just for distance. Either way, this is a decent spot for her, but she does have to improve to beat the two favorites.
Like Musical Mischief, the number 2 Coffee in Bed is moving turf to dirt and earned a 90 Beyer speed figure, winning 2 turns on dirt, 2 starts back. Here's that race, a first-level allowance at Santa Anita on October the 9th. She sat off the pace, and the trip kind of worked out for her, didn't it?
Yeah, another horse who just got a perfect trip to win this race, but I do like the way that she goes on with it at the end here. She's going to stretch out a little bit further for this race. I don't think it's supposed to be much of an issue. I'll be honest, Dan, I'm not sure how good I think she is, but there is some upside here for really top connections.
Down from Northern California and making her dirt debut is the number 3, Senorina Mari, who scored the Miss America Stakes over the Tapeta surface at this distance last time out. And she's got some work to do at the 3/16 pole, Mike, and shows off a pretty strong kick. The question is whether that kick will translate to dirt in a race that doesn't have a ton of pace. I know Timeform US has her close to the pace, but I wonder.
I wonder too. There were a couple of races from earlier last year where she did race closer to the pace. That hasn't been really her running style since. I don't know, Dad. I don't know what kind of trip she can get here. It's not a super tough spot, but it's not going to be easy for her to beat this field making her dirt debut.
Desert Dawn, the number 4, is a very talented horse. The problem is she hasn't won a race. We're coming up onto 2 years now, and the Santa Anita Oaks. She's multiple Grade 1 placed. I'm really interested in your thoughts on the Bayacoa last time out, because she had a clear lead in the stretch. It looked like she was on her way to finally winning it, and Midnight Memories ran her down. But watching it again, did you think that the jock, figuring that maybe Midnight Memories was stuck in behind horses, tried to swoop early and take advantage, and, well, Midnight Memories found a seam?
I wanted to look at the race that way. Got to win that race. If
Yeah.
you're Desert Dawn, you got to win that race. You got first run on the only other horse in the race, Midnight Memories. You had, I don't know, 2 or 3 lengths in mid-stretch there. She didn't move super early, Dan. I thought her rider played it perfectly, took over, opened the lead. Got to win that race, man.
Like the 1 and the 2, the 5 Clickish is going turf to dirt, and the last time she raced on dirt, she won. Here's that effort. A first-level allowance at Del Mar going a mile. Another horse with good tactical speed. She sits just off the pace, and once she makes the lead, I like the way she extends the final 1/8 of a mile.
I liked it too. I wonder how much the field she's facing has to do with it, Dan. I mean, I just don't know how much more improvement you can expect from her. She's run okay. Her last, 3 dirt races are all fine, and maybe they were sort of trending the right way. So maybe there is some hope that she'll take another step forward here. She's got to improve, and she's got to improve quite a bit, I think, to beat this field.
And here's the horse to beat, three-time graded stakes winner, number 6, Midnight Memories. Here's the race we talked about, the Bayacoa. Midnight Memories is in the two-path, and she finds a seam in between. Desert Dawn took the long way around, but Desert Dawn, as you see right here, has this race seemingly sewn up. But Midnight Memories, Juan Hernandez didn't panic. He got to the outside, and he runs her down pretty comfortably.
Yeah, runs her. Not only does he close her down, you feel like at this point, maybe she'll get there. It'll be desperate. No, she goes right by her in the late stages of this race and wins it clear under the wire. And all that after Desert Dawn just had the jump on her. Again, I guess there's two ways to look at it, Dan, and maybe you want to think that Desert Dawn moved too early. I didn't look at it that way. I think Midnight Memories is the better horse.
Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Let's take a look at our top picks for the La Cañada on Saturday at Santa Anita. And, well, Midnight Memories is where we're both going to go. She's simply the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think she is too. I prefer her of the two favorites in here, the rematch there with her and Desert Dawn. I prefer the 6, and I really couldn't get to the others.
I'm curious to see if Coffee in Bed can slowly improve because she was in against a real good one in her only prior dirt stakes appearance, Sealing Crusher in the Torrey Pines. Bounced out of that race with a good win, then maybe dirtied up a bit on turf. 6-4-1-2 for Mike, 6-2-1-4 for me. Grade 3 La Cañada, your Saturday race of the day. Best of luck.